Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you a review and tutorial of the new Becky G and Colourpop collection. I have the eyeshadow palette, I have all of the lip products, I have the highlighters, I have the whole collection. So if you guys want to know my thoughts about everything and see swatches and how I got this eye look, then just keep on watching. Alright, so the new Colourpop and Becky G collection has an eyeshadow palette. It has 5 lip products and then 2 loose powder highlighters. I ended up getting everything together in a bundle. As I'm filming this, the bundle is sold out, but I think that they will end up restocking it. The whole bundle of the whole collection is $58, and then there's a couple of different bundles that you can get with this collection, so I'll let you guys know what those are. You can get all of the lip products for $29, and each lip product is $6.50 each originally. And then you can get the lip products and the eyeshadow palette together for $47, and the eyeshadow palette on its own is $18. So those are the other 2 bundles that you can get. But otherwise, you can get this for $18, each of the lip products for $6.50, and then each highlighter for $7. Everything's like really nicely priced. So starting off with the Salvaje eyeshadow palette, I absolutely love the packaging of this palette. It has 12 shades, it has 4 shimmer shades, and 8 matte shades, and then it also has a mirror as well. So I feel like it's a really cohesive eyeshadow palette. You have a lot of really great transition shades. You have a lot of great light colors too. Shimmer shades are all colors that I would normally wear. They're fairly neutral, and even like the bolder colors are still not super out there. And then you have those 2 blue tones, and what I like about that is that there's more than just one, because a lot of times there's just like one pop of color and you're like, okay, how do I incorporate that with all of the burgundy tones? So it gives you a little bit more wiggle room, but I really like all of the transition shades. They're all more warm tones. You have some burgundies, you have some browns, but they all work really nicely together, so I feel like it's a pretty cohesive palette. And then the shimmer shades are all gorgeous as well. You have Estrella, which is like the lightest champagne tone that could be really great for every day. I'm wearing the shades Padrona and Celosa on my lid today, and then Corona too is like a really pretty green gold shade, and they all layer nicely with all of those other transition shades. So next I'm moving into the loose highlighters. These are $7 each. The 2 shades are Princesa and Cheeseman. Cheeseman is what I have on my cheek today as my normal highlighter. Princesa I have like in the inner corner because it has a little bit more of a pop of pink. It's kind of like this shimmery tone that just has like a little bit of a pink shimmer to it, and then Cheeseman has a more of that bronzy gold hint to it, which I really love. So I'm really impressed with the highlighter formula because it goes on really smooth and it doesn't show texture. And then next up we have the Ultra Satin Lips. So there's 2 Ultra Satin Lips, Mija and Jolla. So these are 2 very different colors. Mija is the lighter pink tone, and then Jolla is the more burgundy vampy shade. So these look kind of matte on the lips, but they still have a little bit of a satin velvety finish to them. So those are the 2 Ultra Satin Lips. And then lastly, getting into the Ultra Satin Lips, there are 3 shades. The first shade is Secreto, and that shade is more of like this brick orangey color, but it's still fairly neutral, so it's like pretty wearable as well. It's not super bold. And then next we have the shade Floyd, which is a little bit more of like an orangey red shade, a little bit bolder. And then Bésame is the last shade. It's the shade I'm wearing today. Really fiery, bold, bright red. All right, so that is everything in the collection. I'm gonna move into the tutorial and swatches, so you can see lip swatches of all 5 shades, tutorial with all the products, and how I got this look today. So getting into the tutorial, I basically want to recreate this eye look from her promo for the palette and the collection. I just am so obsessed with this like red monochromatic look. So I'm gonna be swatching all the lip colors with the eye look so you guys can see like all the different tones and how they complement each other. But I just love this like burgundy bright eye look, so I definitely want to do something similar. So I'm just gonna start off with the shade Luna to set my eyeshadow. I already always set my eyeshadow, but I still love to use the lightest shade in a palette, especially to kind of just like clean up my brow bone and inner corner area. And then I'm gonna go in with the shade Caramelo as my transition shade. This is like a warm tone medium tone brown. This is like my go-to transition shade in every palette. And I do find the formula in this palette to be like really consistent with pretty much every other Colourpop palettes. Like the mattes blend out really nicely, and then the shimmers are all the same quality. None of the shimmers are glittery or like chunky. So next up, I'm just layering on the shade Malbec, and I'm just gonna apply that outer corner and just kind of build it into my crease to start getting that burgundy effect. And these are just like super pigmented. They layer on really nicely together. And then I'm also gonna pack on a little bit of the shade Sangria. This one is more burgundy, while Malbec had a little bit more of like a brown brick tone. So this is really gonna make it look a little bit more red. So for my lid color, I'm gonna go in with the shade Patrona. And then I also wanna use a little bit of Celosa, I think in my inner corner. This is so fiery. I love this shade. Oh, that's really pretty. That's definitely the color that she was wearing in that picture. And these shimmer shades just glide on. My brush is wet, like slightly, but it still glides on so buttery. So I'm just taking a little bit more of Malbec and just blending out that lid color into my crease. So I just threw on some brown liner in my waterline, and I want to smoke it out so it's a little bit more burgundy toned. So we're gonna go in, actually let me start off with Caramelo and just bring that down a little bit further. I also just want to take the tiniest bit of Celosa. I wanted to put it right in my inner corner, but I think I'm actually gonna do like a little pop in the center of my eye. Just give it a little bit more dimension. All right, so I just threw on some lashes and my eyes are done. I'm gonna go in with the Toulouse highlighters, and these are $7 each. I'm gonna go in, this one is Princesa. This one is like white with a little bit of a pink shimmer to it. So I'm gonna apply this one in my inner corner, and then I'm gonna use the other one for my actual highlight. Yes, I just want to add a little bit of like that same kind of pink, like reddish, like complete the red kind of tone of the eye look. A little bit of like that iridescent pink. And then definitely my favorite shade out of the two is Cheeseman. So I'm gonna put this on the rest of my face. I like this shade because Princesa has basically, it's like white and then it has those reflects of pink. So it's like two shades at the same time. But then Cheeseman is like this beautiful bronzy gold. So incredibly pigmented. And I want to put so much on, but you only need a little bit. So this is a gorgeous shade. I've already worn this and it stays in place all day. This collection is the first time that I'm trying the loose highlighters from Colourpop, and I'm super impressed, especially for the price point, because whenever I think loose highlighter, for some reason I think like glittery, but this is just like such a smooth color. It blends in, it's not chunky at all, it's not gonna emphasize texture. So Cheeseman for sure is such a gorgeous shade. I like both shades, but on my complexion, Cheeseman is my favorite shade. The next up, I'm gonna swatch all 5 lip colors. There's 2 Ultra Satin Lips and 3 matte liquid lipsticks. Everything is $6.50 each. I'm gonna start off with the Ultra Satin Lips, that way I can take off the swatches easier, and hopefully I don't ruin like my whole face makeup trying to swatch all of these like really pigmented, vibrant lip colors. So I'm gonna start off with the lightest shade. This one is Mija. It's one of the Ultra Satin Lips. So this is what Mija looks like. It's definitely more mauve-y and pink and not as nude. It does pop out a little bit more than like a regular nude color. I feel like all 5 lip colors are gonna look good with this eye look. It's gonna give it a different vibe every time, but I'm pretty sure this eye look can probably go with all 5 lip colors, but this is definitely the most neutral of all 5 shades. So next up, we have the Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Jolla, and this is definitely the vampiest and darkest of all the colors in the collection. It's a satin lip, so it's not matte, but it is, yeah, like a really deep shade. I really like the vibe of this lip color with this eye look. It just took it to like a really grungy place, and I'm living for it. But this color is like more of that like burgundy brown, really deep, but not so out there. It's still just like a really pretty burgundy shade. It does have more of a brown hint to it than red for sure. Super, super grungy. I love how it looks with the red because it's also like pulling the burgundy shades out of my eye look. But yeah, that's the shade Jolla. Those are the two Ultra Satin Lips. So first up for the Ultra Matte Lips, we have the shade Secreto. This one is like a brick orange color. So I totally wish I had this shade like 2 months ago because I would have worn this shade all the time during the fall. It reminds me a little bit of KYLIE Cosmetics Ginger. I don't know if that shade still exists, but I have it from like a holiday collection 2 years ago and I was so obsessed with it. That's what it really reminds me of. So definitely really like this shade. For more of a bold shade, it's so wearable at the same time, and I feel like this is the kind of lip color that I love, with just like simple or minimal or no eyeshadow and no wing. Like that is what I want to do with this color for sure. So this was a shade Secreto. Every time I say the word Secreto, I think of that song, Es un secreto. I don't know who sings it. I don't know, it's old, but that's what I think of when I hear the name. And I also love this color for sure. All right, so I'm at the point where I have like hardcore foundation lips going on, so I can cancel out all the previous lip colors without like scrubbing off my lips. This is the shade Floyd. This is the second of the Ultra Matte Lips. All right, so this is the shade Floyd. It's similar to Secreto, pero, but it's also more of a red color. I'm gonna take this video into like Spanglish, but it's more of an orange red color. And then lastly, we have the shade Bésame. This is really like a really hot red color. All right, so this is the shade Bésame, and this one, it takes a little bit more work to apply. You do have to layer it a little bit because it's not as opaque right off the bat compared to all of the other shades, and I think that's usually the case with a lot of matte red colors. At least that's what I find. Or sometimes with vampy shades, that tends to be the case too. But this one, I just had to layer on like twice, especially in the center of my lips. But I really like the look of it. And I feel like, let me pull up that picture of Becky G and see if I got close enough to my inspo pic. Yeah, so I definitely think she is wearing Bésame in this photo. And I haven't done like a monochromatic look in forever, but I am living for it because I've just been missing red shadows and like red lips in my life lately, so I'm glad that I did that with this collection. But let me give you guys kind of like a wrap up of everything. I like every lip color. I feel like me and her, we have very similar complexions, so that's why I like all 5 shades, because they do flatter my complexion, my undertones really nicely. Sometimes, especially with like red lip colors and like vampy shades, it could be a little bit tough because I have a really warm like olivey undertone. So sometimes reds can look like really, like they can really clash on my skin tone. So I really like that all of these shades have a little bit more of a like a warm undertone to them. And then I was definitely impressed with the loose highlighters, especially for the price point for $7. These look fairly small, but it's still like a ton of product. It's gonna last me all of 2019. Princesa is something I'm gonna use more like I did today for the inner corner or my brow bone. I'm still gonna actually apply this on my cheeks too, but I definitely love this, the shade Cheeseman, so much. I feel like that's the kind of highlighter look that I go for all the time. It really reminds me also of like the Anastasia Amrezy highlighter shade. I feel like that's like a really universal highlighter because it goes with like every makeup look, like a vampy lip, a nude lip, everything, every kind of eye look. So that's what I find that is very similar with Cheeseman. Definitely recommend it. Super impressed with that because if it wasn't for me wanting to buy the whole Becky G collection, I don't think that I would have really tried a Colourpop loose highlighter. So I'm really happy about that. The palette, of course, is awesome. Super consistent. Really nice shades, like very great like everyday shades that I'm going to be wearing in here. Like pretty much everything is colors that I would wear almost every day. Maybe not every day for like the blue and green shade, but pretty much the rest of it are colors that I gravitate towards like on a day-to-day basis for sure. All right guys, so that's gonna be everything for this review and tutorial. I'm really glad that everything in the collection worked out. Like all the formulas are really awesome and really consistent in this collection. I was so happy about that because I had really high expectations with this collection. Let me know if you guys purchased anything in the comments comments below. And I will be putting up a couple more looks on my Instagram in the next couple of days, playing with a bunch of different shades in the palette as well. And I also have a giveaway, maybe 2 by the time this video goes live, up on my channel right now. So I will go ahead and link those giveaways in my description box. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.